bookkeepers, and welcome back to my channel. And today we are going to talk about money mindsets and building our bookkeeping business. If you constantly feel behind, even when money feels tight, even when clients are paying, if you make pricing decisions based on fear, if you don't have a bookkeeping problem, you have a money rhythm problem. And today I'm going to show you how your money mindset directly affects your systems, your pricing, your stress level, and your income level as well. So let's get with it today. The first thing that we're going to talk about is our emergency thinking versus our system thinking. And so I've been over the last few years actually working on some marketing, and actually this year, the end of 2025, the beginning of 2026, getting better at my systems too. And I can tell you that it makes a world of difference. You become like really focused, and you're not like wasting so much time on different things. And right off, if you see something, a post or something else, that is just noise to you. And in 2026, I think you're going to hear a lot of that from a lot of coaching platforms, the noise that we all have around us. So I think it's really important to have a discernment between what is directly going to affect you in your business, like right now, today, what is down the road, or something that like isn't for you, sounds like it's a good idea, you're not sure about that. And just know every time you're looking at a new noise, I'll call it a new noise, a new system, a new plan, something like that, that it's going to take you 3 months to 6 months to actually implement that. So I just want to remind you to really think through what you're doing. So you just build your system one time and it's on go. You're getting clients coming into your business. You're relying on your system for posting, for nurturing, and for doing all of those things. And then what that's going to give you back is free time to work more in delivering accounting or bookkeeping to your clients, advisory services to your clients, personal time to go and spend with your family and have a bookkeeping business that isn't stressful. Because we all have to agree, accounting and bookkeeping is probably one of the most stressful businesses out there. So it can be very stressful. So we need to get like a calm, a smooth vibe going and a good rhythm going in our business. Most bookkeepers are in emergency mode, and I've been doing this for a long time, so I've been there myself, so I know how all of this works and how it feels inside of us. We're like, I need a client today. I've got to have a client today. I can't raise my prices. What if they leave me? I think that what if they leave me is the biggest thing. It's that rejection of whether you feel like maybe you didn't do a good enough job, or where you missed something, or why is this person leaving you. And most of the times, the reason why a client leaves you, if you're a good bookkeeper, it's just because somebody gave them a cheaper price, their business changed, something in the family happened, their wife is going to do the bookkeeping, their sister is going to do the bookkeeping. So it's not about you. So always remember, when you are getting rejection in your bookkeeping business, most of the time it's nothing that you said or that you did, or how you handled their account, unless that there was something that you could have done better. Resolve to that always is, if I make a mistake, I'll let the client know I made a mistake with that number and I have corrected it, and now the number is correct. I just want to let you know that. So I think honesty with your clients, they will very much appreciate that. When you might be thinking, I'll just keep charging less to keep them. And so please don't get into that. I have been down that road with it. And I can tell you what happened. The price went down a little bit, then we went on for a while. But like every couple years or something, then the prices constantly got to be keep coming down. You want your prices to be going up, not to be going down. So just make sure that you don't get caught up in that you're going to charge less to keep them. We don't need just busy work. We don't need to be doing bookkeeping just to keep ourselves busy. Even though that client isn't paying that good, at least it gives me something to do. It's a little bit of money coming in, but we want to have a higher mindset than that. That this is my prices, this is the services that I provide to you, and this is how it's going to change your business. This is how it's going to impact your business. This is how you're going to be able to spend more time with your family, more time in roofing sales, more time in building and growing your business. So I'm here to serve you, to help you come to higher profits and growing your business. Okay. And that's valuable to any business owner, whether it's roofing, construction, or any other industry. So that's what everybody is looking for that own a business. Just think about yourself. When you purchase some type of support or whatever, you want it to help you get a result, to help you grow your business. So we all can win in this. But emergency thinking creates reactive pricing, emotional pricing, and reactive scheduling, how I'm going to fit this person in here. And then also reactive client selection. And we want to be able, when we get on a call with someone, decide, what we can help this person with, if this company or if this person is even coachable of helping us get all the documents that we need in order to deliver the service to them, and how open they are to partnering with us and working with us. And a lot of times the clients that you're charging $200 or $300 a month for, they cost you a lot more problems than actually if you were charging $800 or $1,000 a month. So just know it's going to be far more work for you to do, and relationship building and harder relationships when especially you're under that $500 threshold. Always keep that in mind. But thinking system, if you have a system, then the way we can think about this is, what do I want to earn annually? How many clients do I want per month? How many hours do I want to work a week on delivering to clients? How many hours do I want to work a week in my marketing so that my marketing just flows along and I'm not having to dive deep in all the marketing things? Because with marketing, first, you have to learn your message. You have to get your website and your system set up. And then once you have it going and you know exactly how it works and how a person moves from when they contact you or they comment on a post, to you send an email, to they book a call, to they're your client, how that process goes down. So you need to know all of that before you can eventually maybe outsource that to somebody else to help some with your marketing. But most importantly, first, you have to get your message down. Who do I serve? What industry do I serve? Which niche am I trying to make an impact on and make a difference in their life and make a difference in my life with? I enjoy that industry. So you want to really zone in on that first so you can get your messaging down. So then when people ask you questions, you can honestly give your thoughts on that, and then it just happens naturally. Then people naturally just want to work with you because they can feel your integrity, your honesty, and that you are there to help them take some relief off of their shoulders and help them in their business. Then you want to look at what is my minimum price that I want to charge. If a client comes to you today and they just want basic bookkeeping, just QuickBooks, going through the bank feed, doing the reconciling, and then sending them a profit and loss at the end of the month, what is my minimum price? I would highly recommend you, please do not go below the 500 mark, because you are really asking yourself for a lot of work, and some of those clients will not stick with you for very long. And there's a big difference between having to have 20 clients at $500 and 10 clients at $1,000. Because as bookkeepers, when we take on a client, it's not just like a task list that we do. We are highly involved in their business. We are highly involved in their finances. So, people are willing to pay you the $1,000 per month because they know that you are involved in their bank account, their finances, their business. So those are some of the reasons why you are valued, and you can do this. I know most bookkeepers are really good with bookkeeping and QuickBooks. The part we have to work on is our marketing and running our business. Those are the areas that we aren't so proficient in. Then again, what is your minimum price? What is my weekly rhythm? What clients am I going to work on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? Am I going to take off Friday? Am I going to take off Saturday and Sunday? That rolls into how many hours a week that you want to work, because you don't want to get in your bookkeeping business and get overwhelmed. If you take a cleanup job, even one cleanup job, sometimes you were just running, doing your clients Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Now you have this cleanup client and it's taking in extra days and you're working Saturdays. So that's how we move into that bracket there. We want to keep it more in rhythm. If we don't have time to do a large cleanup, then we can be honest with them and let them know that I don't have time right now. In a month, I can do it for you. So we can always be flexible. And usually clients, they can wait. They've waited this long. They can definitely wait another month. It's probably not going to kill them to do that or kill their business. And you can partially start working on it, but say, I can't really put all my effort until April, or I can't do it until March, whatever your time frame is there. So then, like I say, you have your weekly rhythm, you have your monthly rhythm, and emergency thinking is really emotional. And when you can rely on your system, then it's the mathematics that you're so great at. So, the system, where everything lands and everything being done. So the system really helps you so much. I wish that when I started my bookkeeping business, I really did zone in on the system, but we all have to start somewhere and we just learn our way through. The underpricing is a stress multiplier, so I can't say that loud enough or long enough for that one. When you charge $300 to $500 per month, you still answer the emails, you do reconciliation, you handle cleanup, you solve clients' problems. The stress is the same if it was $1,000. So you're doing the same work, because it's not what you just do like in QuickBooks. It's the emails that clients have questions, that there are certain situations that come up, and it's relationships. So it's a lot more than if you were working on a job and they were paying you $50 an hour. It's very different because more time is built into that client and you're devoting a lot of time to that client. So keep those things in mind. But the stress is the same, sometimes worse, like I say, but your margin too is very thin. And I saw one girl that was advertising like $199 per month for bookkeeping. there's just no profit in $200. The work that you have to do with that client, it just isn't any profit there, and you're still going to have overhead with your bookkeeping business. Keep all of that in mind. Always know what you're going to profit from any client that you're going to be working with. Okay. But thin margins create money tension, fear of losing clients. That's always the fear I think most bookkeepers have. And then overworking to compensate. And I have done this like so many times, but like when I didn't have that many clients, then I ended up working like a bunch of extra time on some small clients that I had. It was just really like busy work. And what I should have been doing is working on my marketing and just bringing in new clients for that extra space that I had. Anytime you have extra space, you're going to make more money investing that extra space and time in your marketing and in posting and that type of thing. So always keep that in mind as well. But when you raise pricing with intention, you reduce client count. You might go from 10 to 8, and that has happened to me before. I got to one point a few years ago in my bookkeeping business where I'm like, okay, my bottom line is I don't care how much bookkeeping that they need, that my minimum is $600 per month, just to manage your account. And you can think of it that way too, instead of just thinking the hours that it's going to take you to deliver on that account. And look at it in account management. I'm managing this account for this amount of money. When you are raising prices with intention, you reduce your client count, you increase margins, you reduce stress in your life, you've got more time off, more time for yourself and your family, and you increase authority and professionalism. So those are really important. But money mindset is what determines the pricing. Don't let your emotional or your own personal financial situation affect your pricing. So be really careful in that area. But pricing determines stress. So we want to keep that in mind. Rhythm eliminates decision fatigue. So most stress doesn't come from the work that we do. It comes from constant micro decisions that we're having to make. When should I work? Should I say yes? What do I charge? Do I need more clients? Am I behind? That am I behind is always in the back of our minds there, in our subconscious. And when you design a money system, which I love a money system, then you decide one time, what your minimum price is, who your ideal client is if you had to choose, know who that ideal client. You could decide that by the amount of revenue that they have per month, per year, how many jobs that they're doing per month. That's a good way to do pricing with roofing contractors. You might say, okay, I charge $800 if you have from 1 to 4 jobs per month, and then $1,000 if you have 4 to 6 jobs per month. And roofers and in construction, everybody is always looking at how many jobs that they have per month. And so they have a revenue, though, connected to those jobs. For instance, if they're doing 4 jobs per month and each job is $20,000, then their revenue is $80,000. So for them to pay you $1,000 when they are creating a revenue of $80,000 is very easy there. But try and look at it from their perspective. But this is how CRMs actually charge them too, according to how many jobs they do per year, per month, whatever the number is there. Okay. Decide your minimum price, your ideal client, your revenue target per year. You can look at it per month, but you want to really look at it per year to start and then reverse engineer If you want $100,000 in revenue a year, then divide that by 12 months, which is around $8,000. So if you're charging $1,000 per client, then that is only 8 clients that you're working with. And for those 8 clients, maybe every week you spend 2 to 4 hours serving each one of those clients. So if it was 4 hours, so every week you're doing 4 hours for each one of those. Just do the math. You have your set in work schedule of what you're working, and some contractors, they will have some emergencies to come up. So we will have other little things that come in between that we will have to solve and to deal with, and take a little bit more time to do that. And keeping those relationships strong. And that's really important, I think, with your clients, being able to keep a strong connection and a strong relationship with them. And then you have your growth pathway after that. And then after that, you just execute and you just keep repeating the same pattern. We want the same pattern to just repeat. And I have learned there's always seasons for things, there's timing for things that we're in. And so we want that boring pattern just to keep repeating. And also, when you're working in clients' books like once a week, then you are catching all the red flags every week. And so you're not waiting to the end of the month or 2 weeks from now. And so nothing gets boggled. You don't get bogged down with anything, because now you've had a week to ask them questions and get answers back and just keep that ball rolling. So that's really important. Okay. But after that, you do execute, less decisions, less stress. And that's why systems create peace. And like I say, I truly love systems. It's taken so much relief and burden off of me in getting into systems. And sometimes God kind of works in mysterious ways. Sometimes we end up where, maybe we only have a few clients. So now we finally have the time to work on our marketing and work on our systems, but just work on it like once a week and just keep improving it and updating, improving and updating. Okay. Just start. That's all. And then money clarity builds confidence in your skills, in your business, in your communication with people, because communication, of course, we know is everything. So that is really important. But it all comes from knowing your numbers. It comes from knowing your numbers, like I want 2 clients at $1,000 or 5 clients at $800, whatever your monthly goal is. And if you're a brand new bookkeeping company, I would be trying to, first off, just get that first client, 1,000, and then adding another client, 2,000, adding another 3, added another 4,000, then 5,000 on up, and just keep building it every month, and then let it just keep on accumulating for you. Okay. But you can stop guessing. I actually created a bookkeeping earnings calculator. So you can put in that calculator, say that you want $1,000 per client times 10 clients. It'll give you your monthly revenue, your quarterly revenue, and then your annually revenue. So you can have a good vision of what that is. If you say, I think I can only charge $600, then $600 times however many clients you want, and then instantly you'll see what that monthly revenue is and see if it's high enough or not, if you have to increase the price, if you have to increase the number of clients you have. So you can switch that around and just play around with that. So that will be linked in the top description area there, so you can get to it quickly. And there will also be a link for our Bookkeepers Connection, which is a free community on School. We have a nice community. We have people coming in all the time. And I have some training that's free for you. And there's also module 1 of QuickBooks Online for roofing contractors that will get you started in setting up a brand new QuickBooks Online for a roofing contractor. As soon as you get that roofing contractor, then you can plug their name in there, connect their bank accounts, and get to work with that client. So I've made it really easy for you. Your system reflects your identity, the identity that you have with yourself, and I believe in the marketplace too, and how professional you come out. But if you believe I'm just starting, you build small systems. If you believe I'm an advisory level professional, you build big systems. You build systems that are going to take you a long way, and you can keep all your life building on this business and even leaving a legacy to your family. Because a lot of times, like I am a bookkeeper, advisory, my daughter, she is actually she's in accounting in a corporate situation. Then my son has a construction business too. So we're all kind of business connected there. My middle daughter, she was a professional ballet dancer. So she works for another corporation more in cultural human resources. So you never know where everything is going to lead to. But you build structure systems, you build money mindset, determines your identity. Your identity determines your systems, how you look at things, how you feel about yourself. Your systems determines your outcome as well. I think the systems really does determine that outcome. And that's the change. If you want to stop operating in emergencies and start designing your income intentionally, go get that calculator and play around with that and see, what you can create for yourself. I always like you to be creating. And if you want structure and community, that's our training for today. And so I hope you'll just take at least one of those things, even if it's just determining how many clients you have or your minimum price, and promise yourself that you won't go below $600 or you won't go below $1,000. And you can always, if you're charging $1,000, you can say, I'm going through the bank transactions, I am reconciling, I'm helping you with job costing, then I'm sending your reports. But if they wanted you to get in their CRM, like AccuLinks or Job Nimbus or Roof Links, you would charge them additional money for that. It would be more like $2,000 a month for that. And in your calculator, you could put, if you had roofers that are $2,000 a month, and you're going to have 5 clients or 4 clients, that could be $8,000 or $10,000 a month for you. Those are some tips there. Thank you so much for today, and I look forward to seeing you next week. And my videos do come out every Friday, so you get a new video, a new training, something that can impact your business. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.